if we were to, have you work out and have a 6-pack of abs as a builder, right?
What are you saying, mate?
I'm not saying. I'm not saying maybe there is under there. I'm not too sure. Yeah.
My dream is to improve the residential building industry for all involved. Throughout this podcast, we're going to be chatting to all types of industry experts to make sure that builders, tradies, and clients all have a fantastic experience. G'day guys and girls, how you going? We are back in the shed for another episode of Level Up, the podcast that is improving and changing the building industry. So today's a bit of a different one. We got Shea here with me. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. Thanks for having me on.
So for those of you that might be wondering who Shea is the man behind all the video and a lot of the marketing we do in all of my businesses. So I've known Shea for, what have I known you for now? Maybe 5 years, 6 years?
Oh, mate, we met in the pub probably, 6 years ago at North Lakes. So, yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, and we actually met because you were creating video for a business, a Moreton Bay Regional Council Business Award thing.
Yeah, with Embrit. So it was an Embrit thing. So, yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, and it's funny how things have come around and we've ended up working together. Yeah. So I wanted to do this podcast today because I was so hesitant for a long time to put myself on camera and even to get on social media. Like, I think a lot of people don't realise about me. I couldn't stand it. I absolutely hated it. Used to argue with my wife about it because she was on it, and I just didn't. I didn't see the value in it. And in saying that, there is a large part of it that I still don't like. I don't like how it sucks people in and wastes a lot of your time. Like I use social media because it is powerful for my business, and that's why we've got you.
Yeah.
So. Mate, do you want to tell us a little bit about, you're a video producer, videographer.
Yeah.
Like in our business, you do the lot, don't you?
Yeah, we do podcasts. We do out in the field, job updates, site updates, funny stuff. We script stuff as well. So, yeah, the whole gambit.
Yeah. So Shea does, he does some script writing for some of the vids we put out, helps me with a lot of the content creation, videoing, editing, all that type of stuff. But he's a very, very creative person. Gets me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah. I think that's key.
I think you like it.
I do. I do like it. Well, it's one of those things that you're probably the first to admit that you're probably not an extrovert. You're an introvert, but you push yourself to come out of your comfort zone all the time. So you're always surprising me with what you can do. So yeah, it's great working with you.
Shea makes suggestions for some crazy things, which we've got some crazy stuff coming up that we haven't released yet. But I'm in a position now where I just trust what Shea comes up with so much, and he makes suggestions. We have a bit of a workshop about it, and then we get stuck into it. But I think it's incredibly powerful, isn't it? Like, I think one thing I guess to understand is video is incredibly powerful because it shows everything. It's your voice, your personality, your attitude. Like it just shows so much, doesn't it? Yeah.
Well, like when I was working before we came on full time here, it's you saw every type of character, and it generally came down to the way you talked about yourself. So sometimes like a boss would get one of their employees to come in and do a video, and they're like, "Oh, I don't like doing video. I don't like the way I sound. I don't like my hairstyle. I haven't had my morning coffee." So there's always a million excuses as to why not to do it. But in some ways, I saw that for other people saw that as an opportunity. So if you got out there in front of the camera and showed people who you really were, then there was less people doing it. So you could really stand out in your industry.
Yeah, I think for a builder, it's like, obviously I've realised the power in it now. Like all of our businesses are incredibly busy through the power of video. And I guess video for me, I personally believe video is a new word of mouth. Like like gone are the old days. Like we still get jobs where clients come from neighbours of properties that we've built or a relative or a friend of a friend and all that sort of thing. But even if they might start off at that, these days, the first thing everyone will do is go to your website, check you out, see if you've got a social media page, and jump on there and start checking you out and following you. And we've had clients follow us for years before they get on board.
Yeah, well, we've seen it firsthand. People will yell out and say, "Hey, Duayne, I saw your last video," and that's the power of video and the way that they know you. Don't know them from a bar of soap, but they know you. They're following you. They're watching you on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the above, and they get a feeling for who you are as a person. And I suppose when it comes to probably talking to clients, there's a lot of clients that'll do their homework, look through all your videos, get to know who you are. And when it comes to probably, I don't know, do you have to pitch anymore to anyone?
No pitching anymore, mate.
There you go.
It's the video does it all.
Yep.
And I think we get clients that come for all different reasons now. Like probably the most powerful thing that I've realised from the video, and you've picked up on this, is we attract the clients that we want to work with.
Yeah.
I think you see so many social media pages, and it's just all the fluffed up finished pictures, nice, like the finished home and the furniture and all that sort of thing. And to me, that's almost opening a can of worms, and you're attracting the wrong type of clients. Like, because we show so much behind the scenes, and my favorite saying is, it's all the stuff you don't see that matters.
Yeah.
And because we're not afraid to show that, and the job site during construction, and it might be a little bit dirty every now and then, and we show all the ins and outs, it actually attracts clients that are similar personality to me, have similar values to me, appreciate the quality that we do. As you touched on before, it takes all the sales pitch out.
Yeah. Well, I think people are becoming more savvy on picking, if you're authentic or not within a video. Like, we've all watched enough YouTube, we've all watched enough stuff on your reels. And then obviously the algorithms that these big companies use, they're targeting you with stuff that you click on and watch for longer periods of time. So I think the watch time that we actually, we sit down and watch a video, you unconsciously become very good at understanding what you like and what you don't like, but also picking people that are just there for a sell, or they're trying to put one over you. I think, if we were to, have you work out and have a 6-pack of abs as a builder, right?
What are you saying, mate?
I'm not saying maybe there is under there. I'm not too sure, Yeah, but all you did was walk around shirtless, right? Then we would be.
No one wants to see that.
We'd be throwing out a certain type of vibe to a certain type of audience. I don't think that's your audience, though.
No, it's definitely. Well, it's not me either.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that authenticity and you being you, and all the videos that we do where you show people behind the scenes, you show yourself getting dirty. It's not all the pretty pictures is a massive part of it. And I think that's also when we originally had the conversation about coming to work for you, is the two things that I kind of look for is, do you care what other people think about you? And are you solid in your boots? And you're both, you're not insecure about who you are, and you actually don't care what other people think. You've got a mission and a vision, and you're focused to go hit that. And that was kind of cool, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that fear judgment from other people, especially if they've got if you've got a good message to get across and get out there, it's almost an obligation that you need to get it out there and share with people.
Yeah, no, well, mate, you've definitely played a big role in that. So just to go back a little bit, we met 5 or 6 years ago. Shea is incredibly good at his job. We actually got him involved in our businesses, doing a little bit of contracting work here and there. Did some testimonial work. And then, I actually, you went through some changes in your life. We probably didn't see each other for a good 12, 18 months.
Yeah.
And then,
we went to Fraser, I think, and then I didn't see you for a year or so. Yeah.
And then, opportunities come around, and we struck a deal, and Shea now works for us full time, and we might break it down into a few topics, I think, because I think that'll help people get a bit better understanding. So I guess flowing on from that, like back in the day, so much of this comes back to me understanding what it takes to run my business and being able to allow enough overhead and things to cover what I do in my business. But I actually took a pay cut to put Shea on because I can see the value in it. Mm-hmm. And I know that by...
I appreciate that too, mate. Yeah.
I know by me sacrificing a little bit to put the money into Shea will pay back in the end, because it's like the stuff that we're creating and the work that Shea's doing to help is incredibly valuable. So I think so many businesses probably hold back when it comes to marketing, because they probably don't really understand the value. And I know I definitely didn't for a long time.
Yep.
So I guess that's the first one to touch off on. But let's talk about followers.
Yeah.
Because I know we've got similar views on this. Like I'm not about the numbers.
Yeah. Look, I think in some ways, it's in the back of everyone's mind, as to how many followers you've got. Because obviously more the followers, the bigger audience you got, then there's a bit more leverage to do things, sponsorship deals, whatever. But yeah, I just going back to what you're talking about before, another point that you've got that I think really works in your favor is you've got patience. This is a long game. It's not a short game where you're just trying to create something viral. And especially your mission, it's a long, it's not a sprint.
Creating a new industry, mate.
Yeah, exactly. So with that, it's going to be a grind. It's going to be a slow grind, and we're going to slowly see things ticking over. But if you're in it for just the short term, it's probably not going to work out for you. But having that patience, and you've definitely got that. So it's just seeing things tick over. But with the followers, I don't think they'll come.
Yeah.
If your message is strong enough, you're authentic enough, you're driven enough and passionate enough about what you're talking about, people will follow you. There's no two ways about it. It's just, again, just being that authentic self. And if your vision and mission is strong enough, people will come on the trip with you.
Yeah. And I think it's obviously, when I say I don't care about the numbers, it really depends on what you're trying to achieve, I think, and the type of business. Like there is businesses that need tens or hundreds of thousands of followers to get there's so many people out there these days actually making a living because they have so many followers. Whereas I like you said, we're authentic. Like we want followers that are going to help our cause, our purpose, our mission, and everything that we do is all focused at that, and it works really, really well for me. And I guess this is another one. Like it did take me a while to get my head around this, but for builders and tradies out there that are wanting to do more video, a little bit hesitant about doing it, don't worry if you've only got 200 or 300 or 1,200 followers, whatever it may be, because at the end of the day, for a building business, you can only do a certain amount of work. And ideally, you want to be using your social media as a marketing tool, and you want your followers to become your clients.
Yeah. Well, look, back to what we were talking about before, like you're not cold calling anymore, are you? Like you've got work for the next 3 years?
Yeah, a few years.
Yeah. And there's none of that awkwardness when you go to meet a client, because in some ways the relationship has been built. If anything, you've got to get to know the client to see if they're right for your business.
Yeah, if they fit.
Exactly. Yeah.
And, we'll go on. I think we'll touch on that subject next. But just to wrap up on the number of followers thing, I think you got to think of it like the way I think of it as a builder. Like, so my businesses are different. Like, so with Live Like Build and Quoties, we want lots of followers in those businesses because we've got to get to a bigger audience. But with my building business, which is what started all this, like we only do work in a certain radius of where we live. So what is the point of me having, like, it'd be great to have heaps of followers and they can like our work and stuff. But like I said, my goal out of it is to educate people that actually want to become my clients and want us to build them a quality home. So we only do work in a certain radius. So it's only...
you want to attract people in that radius.
There's no point me having 5, 10, 15, 20,000 followers if if I can't service them all properly. Like, so
Yeah, well, you can dilute your brand as well. Like, there's people buying likes and stuff like that, but you still got to put the work in.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do. There's still got to be a grind to put the work in and build. And yeah, it just keeps coming back to that. If you've got a clear vision and focus where you want to go, you'll attract like-minded individuals.
Yeah. So I think that's probably number one. Don't worry about your numbers. Just have a message and be real, be authentic, and show people the type of work that you do and the quality that you do and the type of business you have, and that ultimately will attract the client. Like, it's unbelievable how it works. Like, so many people laugh when I tell them that we actually become great friends with most of our clients. We're great friends with all of them, but we actually some clients, we got multiple clients now that we go on camping trips, overseas vacations, catch up for barbecues. It's unbelievable.
You've said it many times, like, it's the amount of months you spend with that family is kind of like a marriage, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're married to that person, and your weekly side updates with them. You're in each other's pockets a lot, and then obviously there's some decisions that you got to make along the way that could go either way.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think they trust you, and but it's off the back of all the value and information that you give. Yeah. So I think that's definitely part of it. Yeah.
So all right. So we've talked about numbers. We've talked about understanding, like getting your head around the value of marketing and that sort of thing. Let's talk about how you've done it for me. Like, how do guys and girls get out of their comfort zone? Like, what's going to help them feel more comfortable in front of a camera?
Yeah, I've always said embrace your inner dickhead, right? So, but like the way that we sometimes, and especially like where we are in Brisbane here, we can be very nice to one another, and like, I don't know, if you go out on a date and your cat's just died, you're not going to go with the frumpy face. You're going to put on a bit of you're going to try and impress the other person. So I think it's kind of you've got to find that your voice. Yeah. And it takes practice, It's just like, I still remember the first video I did with you. It was shithouse. And then I remember after seeing you after a couple of years, I came back and I'm like, holy hell, what happened? Because you've been practicing all this time, and you've been getting in front of the camera. You've been putting yourself out of your comfort zone, and you got to a place that I thought, holy, like you came such a long way in a really short amount of time. So hats off to you.
And a lot of that, thanks, mate. But a lot of that was from advice that Shea's given me over the years. So Shea has a few things, like little routines that we do. So like Shea, I think to do a good video, so I guess there's two things. Like, a good video to show people the type of construction company you have, the type of work you do, is generally a lot of the time they're on the spot, aren't they? Like, if you're on a job site, you see your team doing something, or you see something getting done that will possibly be hidden by a plasterboard or paint or something, grab your phone, do a video on it. Like, hey. Well, like,
so in the film, that's impromptu. Yeah. So they're the organic vids that sometimes are just the best. If you look at some of the scenes in movies, they're actually, the director just kept rolling, and someone just made something up. Robert De Niro in front of the camera, you're talking to me. That was all made up, and that made the final cut. Yeah. So think of it a bit like that when you're doing your social media. Like, if you see something that's of value that could help someone in your industry or a client, pull the phone. We've all got phones in our back pocket, so pull it out and get excited about it.
And that can be, like, it doesn't have to be on site even, does it? Like, if they've just had a great meeting with a client or a great meeting with an architect or designer or whatever, or they've just left site and they're pumped about the job.
That's it.
Like, just those really impromptu ones go a long way. And then the flip side of that is ones that are scripted. Shea definitely taught me a lot about scripting. Like, if you do have particular things, it could be to do with like, we do the pack process in our business. Like, you might have a process that you want to sell to clients. It could be you might want to educate clients on how you run your business or things they should look out for when they're building at home or any of those types of things. So writing them down and rehearsing them.
Yeah, I think that, like the technicalities. Like if you're a lawyer and there's legal jargon that needs to be spot on. Sometimes it's best to teleprompt that, but also is to work out. Some people are really good in front of a teleprompter. Other people aren't. So it's just kind of working out which it is for you. Some people are just great off the cuff.
Yeah.
Some people, like, there's a lot of professionals that will actually, they teleprompt and script every script. But it's just what works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that, like, I guess to close off on that, the impromptu stuff, that's genuine value, isn't it? Like that's where you're showing clients, like, this is a real deal. This is what we do. This is how we do it. This is the experience we'll give you, all those types of things. Yep. The rehearsed and the I guess documented stuff, that's when you really want to get across a specific message.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's more, it's like, again, horses for courses, but the more technical aspects, if you need to talk about measurements and they need to be precise, then I'd say teleprompt it, because there's other stuff that you've got to think about besides that. So the teleprompter would really help you out in those scenarios.
Yeah, no, it's unreal. So I think that will definitely help people get a little bit more comfortable in there. And I guess to keep going on with the, I guess, feeling comfortable with doing this, it's like, man, you don't have to look the part, do you? Like,
No.
And again, that's going to add authenticity. Like if you're having a hard day and you look tired or worn out, it is what it is. Like if you if you get up early and you're going for a walk and you want to do a video while you're walking, like people, that's real. Like,
I think being vulnerable and showing people who you really are. Again, if it's polished all the time, you're just showing your audience a certain layer of you. If you a lot of people really don't start video because they're so worried about making mistakes.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like when I do a video, I make 1,000 mistakes.
Yeah. Well, you know about me, mate, because you got to edit it.
Look, but that's part of it.
I sit in the office behind you and all I can hear my own voice every day repeating the same thing 1,000 times.
Yeah, your voice, I've just come to love it. I've got to switch the brain to another place, but yeah.
That's unreal. So, mate, what's, I guess, let's go on to, like, because a lot of people might even be holding back. And I know we did for a while, like, because you think, I haven't got microphones, I haven't got cameras. Like, what do you reckon with that?
Yeah, look, it's nice to have all the equipment, but it's not the be all and end all. Like we've all got a phone in our back pocket, and there's no, like, everyone's got access generally to the internet.
Yeah. To
pull out your phone, record something, go live with something to either Instagram, Facebook. It's easy. It's just a habit that you've got to build. Yeah. And so,
because phones are unreal, aren't they? Really, these days. So.
Yeah, and like from there you can build your equipment from there. Like the stuff that I've got in the background here, I've been collecting for years. So it's and you're constantly looking at new equipment and stuff. So I think there's definitely, it's nice, but you look at Martin Luther King's speech. Man landing on the moon, it's pretty ordinary footage, but it's stuff that's etched in people's brain. Yeah. So it's more about the emotion and what you can make people feel behind that video, as opposed to how good a quality it is and how good the sound is.
Yeah. So I guess there's so many people on social media these days that have got someone following them around and doing all the flash stuff, but like we started with a phone. Like for literally the first three years, everything we did was done on a phone.
One thing I'd say on that is probably, like, you've got your phone, but audio is half the battle. Yeah. So I'd start with getting some half decent mics, not even half decent, like a couple $100.
Yeah.
Those Rode mics that I use these Rode mics. They're cheap as chips, but people will click off your video if it sounds crap.
Yeah.
They'll deal with like the video being pretty poor quality, but if the audio's bad, then they'll generally flick away. So I'd say you got your phone, get just like a little lav mic that can connect to your phone. That's a good start.
Yeah, awesome. And so if everyone's got a phone, they can do the videoing. What happens after that? Like, can you recommend like editing and that sort of thing? Like, what's the easiest?
Yeah. Obviously you got your professional suites like Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, DaVinci Resolve. So that's kind of the next level up. But then you've got some free stuff. So for Mac users, you've got iMovie, and then for the PC, I think there's tons of free like simple editing stuff, or you can just do it on your phone too.
Yeah.
There's really simple ways just to edit on your phone. There's some free apps that you can download. I can't remember off the top of my head.
We might be able to put some links or something in there in the video.
Yeah. I'll throw some stuff in because I'm going to have to edit this.
But like I think you just like for me, like looking back now, I'm so glad I started. Like so many. For a long time, I had people telling me like, Duayne, you've got value. You're on a mission. You really want to change this industry. Just like get on social media and. It's the best thing I've done. Like it's been incredible for all my businesses. But
if you think about it, it's like a blueprint to where you're going to end up. Like I don't know if you've ever imagined yourself on your deathbed when you're in your 80s or 90s.
Don't think about that, mate.
No. But the 3 or 4 years that you've started to do video is a blueprint to where your mission is, where it's heading. And so you can always go back and have a look at all that stuff.
Yeah. So long, like I got some pretty big goals with all the stuff that we're doing, like documentaries and all this type of stuff. So we're definitely on a mission with everything we do. But so look, costs, followers, videoing, editing. Let's talk about like Shea's got some exercises. Like so we do some stuff now. When a lot of stuff we do on site's very just in the moment. Like I'll be having a client meeting my supervisor, talking to guys on site, meeting some contractors, whatever. And a lot of the time the site vids aren't planned. They're not organised. We might have one video, like it might be a job update or something. But then as we spoke about before, while we're there, we'll see someone doing something or something will be happening. We'll do a couple of vids on it. But then when we get in front of the green screen and we do the more scripted ones, we do exercise, don't we?
Yeah, well, I think it goes back to like we all, not all of us, but if you play sport or you play a musical instrument, if you just jump on a footy field without warming up, you may do a hammy. Same with music, like if you haven't warmed up, then you're not going to be at your best. So I think it's like if you've got time to do it. Sometimes if it's impromptu, if it's you've got to just get it now.
Yeah.
Then you haven't got time. But if you've got 2-3 minutes up your sleeve, like some of the things I take Duayne through are just some voice exercise, so humming. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather,
red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather.
Gets the tongue going, but just gets the resonators warmed up and your voice box warmed up.
Yeah, so, humming's definitely been a good one. Like I hate my voice, I can't stand the way I sound. But humming's been a good one for me. Always having water with you. Yeah,
but just even jumping around and just energizing the body, just priming the body. Because I'm a big believer. Like if you're not excited or energized about what you're talking about, how can you expect your audience to be?
Yeah.
So
that's a big one. So Shea, like I do it in everything. Like for anyone that is listening to this, that's in my Elevate Mastermind online course program. It's a big part of what we do on all of our Zooms. Like we jump up and down for a minute. We pick a song. We either do exercise or we dance around. But
I've got some good footage of you moshing to "Smells Like Teen Spirit." I think.
It not only makes you present better, but it changes your mood. It changes your day.
Yeah,
and it does. It can only be 30 or 60 seconds. It doesn't have to be huge.
It doesn't have to be long. Yeah, if you can get your voice box warmed up. And your body primed, you sort of set to come in the blocks firing as opposed to, and this is the thing these days, you've got 3 to 5 seconds to impress someone with your video. So if you come out of the block sluggish, they're on to the next video.
Yeah.
So you got to move fast.
Yeah, and everyone I love the video. I think it's we touched on it before. Like it shows everything. It shows your emotion, shows your passion, shows your personality. Like it's so powerful.
Yeah. If you allow it to. Yeah. That's the thing is like when we did your story, I can see how passionate you are. So I don't have to work very hard to get you to do stuff because you're on this journey and I can see what you're trying to achieve. So I don't have to try and push you in some respects to get that out of you. It's there. It's in your heart. So, you know, and that's where you've found your voice. You know where you want to go. You know, your feet are grounded.
Yeah.
And so that just makes my job a lot easier.
Well, now it does.
Yeah.
Now this is it definitely has gotten a lot easier. I think the other big thing, like you need to have a sounding board, I think, don't you? Like on the days that we're on the road, Shea comes to home, we leave early, and we're just constantly bouncing ideas around, talking talking about the world and business and life and just everything.
Well, that's like any idea I've got and throw your way. And this is another thing is self-awareness. You've never shut down anything. I think I remember I remember when wood was going through the roof, I suggested we should dress you up like a prostitute and you should sell wood on the side of the road. And you're like, that could work. How can we make that work? And that to me was a sign that you don't care what other people think. You're willing to give anything a crack.
No, you got me to do a Britney video. Jesus, I can't.
But that to me is a sign that okay, that's great to work with. You know, you've got a ball of clay that's willing to try anything, and that's where the self-awareness comes in. If you're shutting down every idea, it's like, no, that'll never work. I don't have time for that. You probably will never start. So just have a check on the stories that you're telling yourself, why you're not starting or why you have started, and just be flexible to give anything a crack, because you never know where that may lead either.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I just love it now. And I, like with everything that we're doing and the stuff that you've taught me over the last few years, I actually feel and especially like in the current environment in the building industry, like the stories that I'm hearing and seeing from tradies and builders that have the flash Instagram pages and they don't show any on-site stuff. They don't show why they do things the way they do. They just show all the pretty stuff at the end. They're actually attracting a type of client that a lot of the time leads to problems, because they haven't done anything to educate the client on why things take a certain amount of time, or like we're doing so many videos at the moment about the current issues in the industry and like time delays and not being able to get contractors and price increases and all those types of things. So our clients, like, we still have to have those difficult conversations, but all of our clients are up to date because we don't hold back anything. We don't hide anything. We just tell it how it is. Yeah,
well, in some ways, even our tactics changed a bit, because the industry, it's tough right now for everyone. And in some ways, I can hear you on the phone. You're turning into a psychiatrist on the phone, trying to help builders through this tough time.
Yeah.
And and you're the first to admit it's freaking tough on you as well.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So when you show that through video, you show a lot of people that they're not alone either. So look, there's so many different directions video can go, and when you get on and talk about, one of our best videos is you saying that you lost so many $1,000s on a build. How many builders would actually divulge that? There wouldn't be too many.
It's real, mate. Like, we don't not hiding anything.
No,
we've done videos on a lot of stuff. We've got a lot more to come. But I guess it's like, if, like, I know because I did it, but so many builders and traders out there would want to be doing video, and they just don't have that little bit of confidence, or are too worried about what people are going to think, or what. I feel that there's probably a lot of builders out there that hold back on the video because they worry about what another builder will think.
Yeah, well, you got to make sure you're fact checking yourself when you're giving out good information for start. Like, you don't want to be giving out shonky stuff. But I think there's still that stigma around builders that builders don't cry, we don't hug, we suck it up, we just get shit done. And there's still that stigma. And that's in some way what you're trying to change as well. But with that, we don't do video. We just work our guts out. We have a beer at the end of the day. We have a chuckle. That's it. But I think the builders evolved in 2022.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it's just, well, it's not just a builder, mate. Everyone's got to change. Like the old days of men, not being able to show emotion and being hard on themselves and having to earn the money to support the family and all those types of things. Like it's an even keel now, really.
That's it. Yeah. Yep.
And I think the other thing, there would be a lot of people out there that would feel that they can't talk about the constraints of the industry and like the time delays and the price increases and all those types of things because they might lose or offend a client or something like that. But
Yeah.
I believe I can't say enough. Like if I like, because all I'm doing is talking about what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, we're not all the crap you see on a current affair. Like we're talking about the real deal.
Even if you've got a vent, video is a good place to vent.
Yeah.
Get things out, you know. If you're frustrated, if you need to rant, if you get things off your chest, if things are hard, there's, you know, people, it's probably not the best thing to do it all the time, but every now and again, just to get something off your chest, you're going to have people rally around you and say, look, I'm going through the same thing and, you know, things are hard. Because, what you're doing right now is building a community and you've got like-minded people, clients, contractors, builders, all on your page, you know, and urging you to succeed because I think everyone's starting to understand that the old way doesn't work anymore and, you know, that there's got to be a better way and I think you're leading the charge on that.
Yeah, and so, all right, it's, I love it. I think it's awesome. Like the other thing we probably need to touch on, like for people that are wanting to get into video and stuff, like we have a consent form. So I think one thing you really need to consider if you're walking around your job sites, if you're filming, there's a few parts to this, but you really just can't start taking photos and videos of the jobs you're doing without getting permission from the client. So
yeah, I think just a consent form, most people are okay with it, but it's just letting them know because you probably don't want to have to deal with someone that, you know, like I think I've had one scenario where like in a group of about 40 people, a lady came up to me and said, can you not put me in the video because my husband can't come within 50 metres of me. So I don't want him to see me on the video. I'm like, cool, no worries. But 99 times out of 100, people will be fine with that. And it's just obviously you don't want to capture them in a bad light, but just having that consent form in your back pocket or just letting people, you can have it on digital form now and people can just sign an iPad, but just letting them know. And it just, you know, it ties up all the loose ends.
Yeah, in our building business, it gets sent out when we do our pack process. We let the clients know, and look, we do jobs where we don't film anything at all because they're just a private person. They don't want people seeing inside their home and all that sort of thing. And we understand that. And then the other one that we have is for like Shea carries a few around with him. All of our regulars, they know we do what we do, so they've all signed a consent form to say they're happy to be seen in the background and all that sort of thing. So I think it's probably something that does get overlooked a little bit because it only does take that one person and we actually got pulled up by a client a few years ago, or actually probably 3 or 4 years ago now, and we're only sort of just getting into this, that we weren't asking, and they're like, hey, we saw you did a walkthrough of our home on Facebook. We don't want, like, take it off. We don't want it there.
Yeah.
So it's something that could blow up into a bigger problem. If you
it's a 2-second thing. You either got the consent form, but you're asking, always ask and before you start shooting, and there's either a yes or no. And just makes things really easy when it comes to shooting.
Mate, what other tips and hints can we give these guys that need to get off the fence and get stuck into video?
Okay, if you're sitting on the fence, look, you know, having a crack, it's baby step it. You know, you've probably had this inkling if you're a builder or a tradie that, you know, you want to start getting something out online. Practice in front of your partner, practice in front of the mirror. Give yourself 2 or 3 different tips that, you know, may be of value. I think a big thing too is keep conveying love and kindness. I think a lot of people are doing things because they want to make money, or it's it's from selfish perspective.
Oh, mate, so many people are doing stuff for sponsorship. Like they're worried about the numbers. They're worried about what they put out there because they want to get money back. Like,
I think it's re-engineering the whole thing, in that if you do put the love and kindness and the value out there, and if you've got a skill set that you can help people, if you can help people, the money will come.
Yeah.
But don't put the money ahead of everything else, because
the message.
It's going to be in the wrong order. But look, the best tip that I'd always give businesses is come up with the 5 topics that you talk about to clients on the phone all the time, and put that in video. So when a client rings you,
awesome,
throw them straight to the video, and because you can probably explain it in the video better as well. And that'll free up your time to do other work.
So awesome. That's a great tip. Yeah.
Because you'll be hammered with the same questions, day in, day out.
So problems as well? Like you can do that for problems as well.
Yeah.
Like if you're constantly having a similar problem with a client or whatever, pick out 5 problems and how you could solve them and do a video on that.
Yep. Yeah. If you're solving problems for people, people love that.
Yeah.
So it's a good start.
What else, mate?
Look, it's quite easy to look left and right at what everyone else is doing, right? Put your blinkers on and just do your thing.
Yeah.
Find your voice. You could be saying, whatever industry you're in, Jimmy's doing this, I better do the same. Don't worry about Jimmy. Just do your thing. It's when you're looking left and right, you're not focusing on where you want to go. So I wouldn't worry too much about, everyone's about, or people stealing ideas. If you've got a great idea, get it out there. And if someone steals it, then it sort of reaffirms that it was a great idea. So, but even with what you're doing, you're kind of 3-4 years ahead of what's going on. So I think don't be so or paranoid that people are going to steal your ideas. Just get your message out there, and if people steal it, then great, good on them.
No, that's all. That is great advice, because I know, mate, if I had kept in that mindset, you and I wouldn't be having this conversation.
No, I totally agree. Yeah.
So definitely put the put the blinkers on. Just
Just run your own race, and but come out of your lane every now and again and do a video that's out of left field and that people that don't expect. So surprise people.
I think it's every single person on this planet is different personality, different mindset, different beliefs, different everything. And you doing video expresses that. Yeah. And the people that want to connect with you will connect with you. So it is so powerful.
The other thing is your confidence will shoot through the roof too when you start doing video. You won't know yourself. It's funny how when you start talking and you start giving, throwing love, kindness, value out there, you'll start to fill your own buckets up, and you'll start to really. Sorry, another one is smile. For God's sake, it's not that hard. It's free. It's not going to cost you anything, but you putting a smile on your face in front of the camera just lets people know that they'll smile back at you too, because they feel you through the camera. Yeah.
Hey, big dog's coming. Good. Well, mate, look, really appreciate you taking the time to actually jump in front of the camera.
No worries. Everyone's probably trying to work out who's behind the camera.
Shea's pretty good at what he does. He's got it all set up. So, look, guys, I really, really hope you get some value out of that, and it gives you a bit more confidence to jump in front of a camera, do some more video. Video is incredibly powerful to your business, to your brand, to everything. Exactly like Shea said, put your blinkers on, run your own race, do your own thing. Don't worry about what other people are doing, how many followers they got, all the other stuff you see on Instagram, and just start smashing it out yourself. Cheers, guys. Everything discussed during the Level Up podcast with me, Duayne Pearce, is based solely on my own personal experiences and those experiences of my guests. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general information only, and any reliance on the information provided in this podcast is done at your own risk. We recommend that you obtain your own professional advice in respect to the topics discussed during this podcast.